Now, as we look back at the year that has been, motorsports has been one of the most popular and watched events, and that goes for both Formula One racing as well as MotoGP. In fact, it was a great year for fans in India, with MotoGP holding its first ever circuit near the capital city of Delhi. We all remember Marco Bezzecchi of Ducati winning in India, and MotoGP has promised to return next year as well. But what fans are truly craving for is Formula One, the race between the fastest automobiles on earth. But in 2023, Formula One was largely a one-man show. Red Bull's Max Verstappen swept the tracks, leaving everyone behind in his trail. Verstappen broke multiple records this year. He ended the racing season on a winning streak. Let's relive Verstappen and, by that extension, Red Bull's racing prowess. They were a force to reckon with in the year 2023.
If you're a Formula One fan, speed, cornering and photo finishes must excite you. Because every F1 race always has jostles and tussles between the racers. This year, there were many close finishes. Racers were constantly trying to one-up each other to decide who would finish second and third. That's right, because there was one racer who just never let go of the number one spot. We're talking about Red Bull's Max Verstappen. The 26-year-old lit fire to the tracks. Throughout the season, there was Verstappen and then everyone else. It seemed like he almost did not have any competition. So how big was 2023 for Verstappen and Red Bull? Verstappen was crowned world champion this year. He ended the season with 19 victories of the 22 circuits he raced on. Verstappen broke at least 18 F1 records this year. We won't touch on all of them, but here are the biggest ones. Verstappen had 19 wins in 2023, the most an F1 racer has ever had in a season. His win rate was over 85%. He had the most number of back-to-back wins with 10 circuits. Out of the 22 races that Verstappen took part in, he had 21 podium finishes. He also had the highest F1 score in history with 575 points. These were just some of the big records that Verstappen broke. In addition, he became the first F1 racer to win 3 times in a single country. This was after he won 3 circuits in the US, in Miami, Austin and Vegas. Statistically, Verstappen had the greatest Formula One season in the sport's history. So how did Verstappen do it, and will he continue his monstrosity next year? Verstappen started racing at a very early age, and he got the knack of racing from his parents. At the age of 4, he was driving racing go-karts. By 7, he had already participated in a go-karting race. In 2015, he made his F1 debut, and within a year, he joined Red Bull Racing. It's almost like he was made for racing, and Verstappen has got the mindset of a winner. He knows that he had one of the most phenomenal seasons in racing history, but Verstappen says he can do better.
I don't think, you can talk about percentages or whatever, but for sure there are always, things that we can do better. We know that. Of course, the car has been very, very dominant, but we've also, seen a few, let's say, weaknesses in the car, which I think we can do better. And that's what we're, of course, working on for next year.
And he's already raring to go in 2024. He says that there's always some room for improvement and that the competition will eventually catch up.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, of course, it can't be much better than what we have achieved. But I think it's not always about, trying to win 20 races. It's also about just trying to find improvements within yourself, within the car. And if that means next year, we have improved the car and we can fight for the championship again, but you only win 10 races, that's also fine, It's just been also that, the competition around us has been quite up and down. One weekend it was this team, then the other week it was another team. So I expect next year, people are learning a lot with this new regulation as well, that it naturally will be, quite a bit closer.
Will Verstappen's dominance continue next year? Well, it's a question that will only be answered on the tracks. But that shouldn't mean that 2023 is forgotten. Because what Verstappen and Red Bull did was nothing short of extraordinary. We might just be witnessing not only one of the greatest to ever sit behind the F1 wheel, but also a partnership that has struck gold all through the year.